You're listening to the January 24th, 2016 reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeling with the Federation of Light.
I cannot believe we've got through another week. It went so fast. Perhaps I jumped into a portal since the last channeling and came out a week later. Which segues neatly into that which we said we'd speak about this week. You said you'd chat about energy moulding, regarding creating one's own portal, I think. Oh, manners, Blossom. Good morning.
Good morning to you also, dear Blossom. We can feel from you that energetically you are in a fine space, and this always pleases us on your behalf. Let us get down to business, as you would say in your world. To recap, we suggested that energy is manipulated in order for one to pass through, from one space, place, to another. This can be done on a personal growth level or, indeed, on a more general tunnel.
So it is actually a tunnel then?
This is how it would be perceived by the participant traveling, and yet it is merely a space.
You say it takes moulded energy in order for it to work. Is the energy from the actual portal or the soul passing through it?
Both. The tunnel is composed of particles of energy that are ramped up to such a velocity that it becomes of itself a vacuum. If you think of it like that, literally that, when you are using a domestic vacuum, that which goes in gets sucked into somewhere else. This is the only way, in a layman's terms, that we are able to explain the working of such. The energy can be programmed, as we said, to arrive or to take one to a specified destination.
Dare I ask how that is done?
At the risk of blowing your mind, anywhere is everywhere. Everywhere is anywhere. There is actually nowhere.
On reading this back, I felt prompted to write, now, here. Consider mind truly blown. So it's not a matter of plugging in coordinates.
Not as humans know coordinates on a geographical landscape. A programmed destination, when coming from the individual, molding energy and going through, is accomplished completely via thought programming. The other style, for it is indeed a different make and model, is done through computerized components that can measure distances in real time and then calculate and estimate distance traveled. How would we say, through air?
How on earth can they do that?
By relying on computer intelligence. Hence, why we spoke of a lot of time and money being dedicated to such a project on Earth. There were many faulty procedures, and with respect we would say that these humanly made wormholes are still not 100% accurate. Let us move on to the self-created vortexes, for we feel that is more useful information for one to consider.
I'm all ears, believe me.
Again, there is nothing other than energy. Everything is energy. And we will just pop in here. All energy is love-based.
Yep, a must to be mentioned.
Therefore, and this, dearest Blossom, is requiring of you to concentrate on a different level in order for us to explain.
Oh my, oh my. I'll try.
That which is real is thought. Your thought creates your reality. So should one require to go elsewhere in a flash, it would need concentrated thought. First of all, on the destination involved. Not only to think about it, to imagine oneself there, to feel oneself there, to feel the energy of this place one is going to, so that with practice, one's focus of feeling would shift from where one actually thought they were to that of where they were destined. This cannot be accomplished overnight. Well, in truth it can, yet we do not wish to get one's hopes up and be of disappointed disposition. We smilingly say, you cannot run before you can walk. Or in these terms, you cannot transport before you can transthought.
Love it. I won't interrupt the flow. I'm concentrating too hard.
So, you are aware that one can travel via the mind, and this is truly achieved via the same fashion. Yet, and that is a big yet, to actually know from the all that is truth, from the all that is knowing space of who you are, that your physicality can come to that place with you, is the basic key to how it is done. We say basic key, for that is the foundation. For if you do not know within every cell, every atom of the energy that makes up you in your completeness, it could not happen. For it is indeed every part, every aspect of you that you take through with you. Otherwise, much damage could be done to both mind and body.
So is it dangerous to even attempt then?
That is an intriguing question. For we suggest that you study this, and we suggest too that you work on this process. Yet, as for attempting it, we would say to tap into the intelligence of yourself before attempting such a feat. It is those who have been too eager, too unready, that have come to a sticky end, would we say.
Can it be the end? I mean, can one physically encounter death through attempting this?
Yes.
Far out. Shall we go back to the simplicity of being love?
You wanted to know.
Yet I hadn't seen that coming.
As we stated, with the greatest of respect for all that is, this can be accomplished easily for the more advanced soul. Here upon your planet, there is so much density for you to contend with, and this is a major factor in the workings of, especially for the self. Elsewhere, there is a much lighter force field, and therefore this allows for a very different headspace. There is no other physical form that is of the density, weight, of that of the human.
Again, when reading back, I felt when it was coming through that they meant on other planets, etc. For indeed is not a hippo heavier than me. Debatable some days.
That was a rather huge trusting, Blossom, for you to continue writing it down as you felt the words come through.
Well, I'm getting better at a lot of things, especially when it comes to chatting with you.
We would consider that perhaps for now, it would be best to concentrate on traveling elsewhere via the mind and leaving the body at home. This would be a good place to start.
So, you've told us how to prepare by feeling we're there, etc. Then what?
Then you breathe, as you always do. And yet, whilst feeling the vibration of being elsewhere, you imagine yourself evaporating. Literally visualize your body evaporating, so as you feel only light. The light of yourself. Allow then the light that you are to remain above you for a while, as you become accustomed to being just light. It is best to have practice periods of just this alone, until you feel well adjusted in doing so. Once comfortable and content that you have achieved the control of yourself just above yourself, then again visualize, feel, vibrate on the same energy as of that place you wish to visit.
But how do we know what the energy of that place is? How do we know the vibration of that place?
You don't, to start with. Yet, the more you focus on it, the more you breathe into it, the more you pick up on its frequency. Continue to breathe into that frequency. Think of nothing other than the feeling of the energy within that frequency. Try to avoid thinking about what you are thinking about.
Sorry?
Try to let go of the fact that you are doing what you are doing, trying not to think about what you are doing and how strange a thing it might be, and concentrate on being elsewhere. After considerable practice in these matters, you will begin to pick up little hints of that space in which you wish to be. A flashing moment of a vision of that place, rather like a scene in a movie. It may be only a second of it that you catch, yet you were there. An easy hole to fall through, which brings you instantly back home, is the recognition that it has worked, or it is working, which clips the thought form back into the physical space in which you are. It breaks the link, if you like. This is yet another skill to acquire in order to remain in the new place for as long as is required. An acceptance of as is most helpful. A thought of, whoa, this is weird, is not. We would mention also, although it is not by any means compulsory, that to have the intent of the journey being for the betterment of mankind assists the progress, rather than it be for selfish gain. We are not saying it cannot and should not be done for fun, yet, as in all things, our way of thinking is that which is done for the highest good of all benefits the all. Therefore, not one living thing misses out. As one awakens deeper into their truth, they become aware of things that had not seen the light of day within one's thought form. The greater one is prepared to free themselves from all that they know, or should we say, all that they think they know, the more they become aware that, would we say, they ain't seen nothing yet.
What's got into you today? You seem so much more human, with all respect.
That is not so, Blossom. We would say that it is you that has become so much more non-human with this communication, that we are merely filtering through your thought waves in a fashion of great ease and delight. Disregard all that you think you know is truth, and allow yourselves to move into the unknown so far. Let this then become your new way of thinking, resonating on a higher level of yourself than before, knowing that everything is possible. There is nothing that is not. For every possible thought that one can think, every thought can be achieved when you know that thought creates reality, without exception. You just have to know this from the deepest place of yourself, your truth, your you. Expand into the great unknown, dearest ones. There lie wonders beyond your wildest imaginings. Yet, once you allow yourselves to go there, your wildest imaginings become the norm, until you, once again, are ready to go beyond that. We love you.
And we love you. In love and thanks, my friends. In so much love and thanks. Just to say that I'm not sure about the statement regarding the density and us being the heaviest, densest physical beings. I don't know if that's my truth right now. Maybe it'll become so one day. Just because this is what they bring through doesn't mean it has to be a truth for me. I learned that long ago when sometimes questioning messages coming through from Whitecloud, and he told me it was okay for me not to agree with all that he said. Many thanks.